It's test server. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the Center Beacon. This is a post-Christmas, pre-New Year's edition. We're going to take a look at what's next for War Robots, and that means test server. This past weekend, we had some new robots and some new weapons. I'm not going to cover all this because I've done it in other videos, like the Hellburner. Still not real impressed. The Strider, we're going to spend most of our time on. The Spectre is the old Exorcist, and we're also going to look at the awesome new weapon, the Dragoon. Not going to cover the Vortex because I don't really care for it, and I've talked about it before. I know this video is a little late, but Santa Claus kicked me in the bing bing pretty hard this week, so I'm still recovering. Let's take a look at the deadly hangar of the future. Except for that Hellburner. That Hellburner really is nothing special. I'm never going to be a fan of a bot that's special ability is suicide, but this thing is awesome, the Dragoon. I loaded up about 99 Dragoons here. I got 99 problems, but a Dragoon ain't one. This is like an anti-shock train weapon. They are pretty amazing. I'm going to show you those in a little bit. Let's take a closer peek. Oh, what's that over there in the corner? It's the Tannenbaum. Hello, Pixonic, copyright infringement alert. What's going on? The Tannenbaum, I think they stole my idea. They can have it, honestly. I don't need it. I have at least 2 or 3 more good ideas left to me in my short, pitiful life. But this is the Dragoon. It's an excellent weapon. It's basically like having a Terran that shoots 550 meters. It's rapid fire. It seems to be plasma energy something. It's nasty. It's got to be nerfed immediately, and it's still on test server. Otherwise, this thing, you think you hate shock trains, this thing is just, it's on another level. So we're going to take a look at that later in the video, just as soon as I sober up. I'm just kidding. I'm not drunk. That comes later after a long day of Matchmaker. So here's what I really want to talk to you about. This is the Strider. This thing is like the Vityaz went to the gym and talked to that really big guy over there in the squat rack and got some of his pharmaceutical assistance. I'm not really sure what the point of a Vityaz is anymore, but this is the Strider. It's incredible. It's like the fastest robot ever in the universe. The Kumaho and the Stalker are so jelly of this guy, they just be like, dang, dang! I kind of feel like I need my own microbrew. The Center Beacon microbrew, call it Bad Randoms. After a long, hard day of Matchmaker, sit back with an ice-cold glass of Bad Randoms. Possible future merchandise, we'll see. Let's go ahead and talk about the Strider. It's awesome. I love it. I want 5 of them, which might indicate there's a problem with it. This thing is a new dash bot. It has 5 charges on its dash ability, which is a little nuts because at what point do we draw the line between 2 dashes, 3 dashes, 5 dashes? We could call the next bot the Neutrino, and it could have 17 dashes. And it could be like the fastest thing ever to exist in the universe because this thing just never runs out of dashes, basically. You saw I was able to get to the whole left side of the map there almost instantaneously. You know, this is kind of like the speedy version of the Exorcist / Spectre that we looked at last weekend. I like it. It's fun to play, but I feel like this is just too much. If you have 5 charges of dash ability with this thing, why? I mean, not that you were going to run a Vityaz, but why ever run a Vityaz again, at least at high-level play? Why ever pick a Stalker? We already had the Kumiho that kind of made the Stalker pretty irrelevant in most circumstances. But this thing, a heavy weapon and 2 light weapons, it's a lot. I mean, it's just really a lot. I feel like this thing, maybe you limit it to 2 dashes, maybe you take that heavy hard point off there, but you can see how quickly I can get into range of players. And even just with a couple of pinatas, do a heck of a lot of damage to finish people off. We're going to take a look real quick here at the Hellburner. I have never liked this thing. This is kind of a novelty bot. This is like the Hover, in my opinion. It's cool, it's interesting, it's something a little from left field, say, but a bot that kills itself is just, it's not going to end up in my hangar in any meaningful way. You can see there the little line is created that tells you when you're doing the countdown. There's like the blast radius. You try to get the guy in the blast radius and you damage him a little bit. It's level 8, it's test server. It's really kind of hard to tell if it's worth anything, but a bot where you're killing yourself all the time just isn't something I'm interested in. Let's switch over to the Dragoon. Now this thing is bad ASS. I really like this thing. And again, that could be a problem because usually the stuff that I really like is the stuff that's kind of overpowered. It's kind of OP, as the kids say. That's what my son would say. My 12-year-old would say, Dad, that's OP. And it kind of is. It's 550 meters. It shoots rapid fire. It's energy. And it's like a Terran that shoots really fast, but with like twice the range. Now, on one hand, I can kind of make a case for it and say, okay, well, all you shock train haters out there, this is your weapon where you're going to be able to maybe push shock trains back a little bit. Because if you line up on somebody with this thing, it's going to vaporize them pretty quickly. At the same time, you know, this might just be a problem in and of itself, because if it's that good, it's just going to be the new shock train. So I'm going to hope and pray that they're just kind of testing this out, see what we think. They'll take our feedback into consideration and maybe tune this thing a little bit. But I'm afraid that this is another item that's just a little too good as is. This build was really fun. I loaded up some geckos, which I never do. Who does that? That's crazy. Nobody ever does geckos. But on a Natasha, which is just like this nostalgic robot that I've always really kind of enjoyed but never found a serious home for in my hangar. A couple of Dragoons on this thing, and the geckos to either piss people off and drive them into cover, or to just finish off guys that have like 6 hit points and you can't quite get them, coupled with the Dragoons, was really nice. I'm going to check my sensitivity setting there. It's maxed. I care about everybody, so don't worry about that. We're max sensitivity here on TCB. But you can see I'm just doing crazy damage on that guy. Super annoying with the geckos, and super lethal with the Dragoons. 550 meter range, very powerful. Even at level 8, this thing was highly effective. Dear Lord, I would not want to see this thing at level 12, let alone Mark II level 12. So probably a good indicator. If I like it, it's OP and probably needs to get dialed in just a little bit. So that's most everything I have for you in this video. This is a quick one. I am late getting this out. Test server was last weekend. The holidays really tore me up. If you caught that Christmas video I did for Pixo there, you only see some of my children. Yes, terrifying as that may be, only a portion of my children are actually in that video. There are more, if you can believe that. I know it's terrifying and shocking to some of you, but my wife and I have a lot of children. But we love it, and it's great fun. But we get so busy around the holidays, birthdays, all that kind of stuff. So this one's late, it's short, but I think it gives you guys a pretty good idea. The Strider, aka the jet lag, is just too fast, too many dashes, and the Dragoon, aka the 550 meter Terran, is just too powerful. It's just too amazing. I love amazing stuff. It's not like I want them to develop things in R&D and come out with like a weapon that sucks. You know, I can't get excited about that. There's been a couple here and there where I'm like, really, why are we doing this? And it's just not something I'm gonna run. This, I would run like 95 of these in my hangar if I could fit them, but it's just too good. So too powerful at level 8. I would run this thing at level 8 if you gave it to me right now, as is. And that's just a clear indicator that it needs to be dialed in. So I hope you guys had a Merry Christmas, and New Year's is coming up, so make sure you all stay safe. And check out my Critical Tactics videos if you haven't seen that. Basically, I'm doing my part to try to make things fun for everybody and give you guys a crack at high-end content that maybe not everyone can get their hands on just yet. So check that out, and if you like what I'm doing, as always, please like, subscribe, comment, do all those things that help out YouTubers, and I will continue to help you out. And as always, I will see you next time at the Center Beacon.